paradise, the ultimate gated community where millions strive to end up. The concept of Eden is sold to us as the grand prize for good behavior. But the Sumerians were much more realistic. They were the first to describe paradise. They called it Dilmun. And do you know what it actually was? The most boring, sterile waiting room in the history of the universe.
Dilmun, the premium exclusive subdivision for the gods. No diseases, no aging, wolves don't eat sheep, lions don't eat people, and people don't do absolutely anything. It was a completely static diorama. Do you know why nobody died there, Professor?
Because there was no fresh water.
Bingo! It's like buying a billion-dollar penthouse in Manhattan and realizing the developers forgot to install the plumbing. A perfect world where everyone just sits in the dirt staring at each other for eternity. Sounds fucking thrilling.
That is until Enki showed up. Our old friend, the god of wisdom and the patron saint of questionable initiatives. He brought water. Dilmun bloomed, and the mother goddess, Nin-ti, the chief geneticist of the pantheon, decided to use this new biosphere as her personal laboratory. She engineered 8 miraculous plants, 8 absolute masterpieces of divine flora. She grew them with care, planning to study their properties. But she forgot the golden rule of sharing an office with Enki.
Never leave your lunch in the corporate fridge without a sticky note.
Enki was taking a stroll through the garden with his two-faced advisor, Isimud. He spotted the first plant, and instead of studying it, instead of appreciating its scientific value,
he said, "Hey, Isimud, what's this bush? Looks like a salad. Pick it for me."
And he ate it. Having tasted the first, Enki couldn't stop. He went through Nin-ti's lab like a locust with an MBA. He ordered his servant to pick, and then he devoured all 8 unique plants, 8 crowns of creation, destroyed simply because the god of wisdom decided he couldn't wait for lunch.
Absolute alpha boss move. Your coworker spends ages on the project of the century. Eat it. Establish dominance.
When Nin-ti returned to her lab and saw the empty soil, she didn't file an HR complaint. She pronounced a curse. This is where the Sumerian myth takes a sharp turn from a workplace comedy into medical body horror.
Greetings, meat sacks. Welcome to Effective Management. What do you do when your boss steals your project or eats your artisanal yogurt? Option A, cry in the bathroom. Option B, quit quietly. Option C, the Sumerian method. Cancel his immune system. Nin-ti looked at Enki and said, "Until you die, I will not look upon you with the eye of life." She just shut down his organs. 1 curse for every plant he ate. You take my project, I'll take your spleen, you son of a bitch. This has been Soul Specter. Don't be a pushover.
Thank you, Sol. Destructive as always. Back to the myth. Enki began to die. Everything hurt. His jaw, his teeth, his ribs, his arms. 8 organs failing simultaneously. The pantheon panicked. The great god of wisdom was rolling in the dust, in agony.
And Nin-ti just put her phone on Do Not Disturb and took PTO. Sorry, I'm out of the office. Tell the god of wisdom to rub some dirt on it.
It took a trick by the other gods to bring Nin-ti back. A fox, an animal with 0 political weight in the pantheon, managed to convince the goddess to return. And when she saw the dying Enki, her anger was replaced by the professional curiosity of a physician. To cure Enki, she didn't just give him a magic pill. She gave birth to 8 new deities. Each deity was a highly specialized doctor, designed to heal one specific organ. A goddess for the jaw, a god for the arm.
She invented the American healthcare system. To cure the boss, they needed a panel of 8 specialists. Sorry, we can't fix your leg. That's out of network. You need a referral to the goddess of dentistry.
Among these 8 healers, there was one very special goddess. Her job was to heal Enki's broken rib. In Sumerian, the word for rib is ti. So the goddess was named Nin-ti, the Lady of the Rib. But the word ti had a second translation: to make live. The Lady of the Rib, who gives life. Remember that pattern. A couple of thousand years later, the authors of the Old Testament would borrow that exact pun for a woman created from Adam's rib. Eve, the mother of all the living. The myth of Dilmun teaches us a very simple truth. Paradise isn't a place where they hand you wings and a harp. Paradise is just a place where, eventually, some idiot will eat the one thing they weren't supposed to touch and crash the entire system. And Eve? Eve was just the echo of a Sumerian nurse, called in to treat divine food poisoning.
Moral of the story, meatbags. If you don't want your ribs to rot, hit the subscribe button. And never, I mean never, eat someone else's salad. Dips.